Hello, hi students. Welcome back to another session of Mathematics for Final Exams, right? Revision series में अब हम नया chapter start करने वाले हैं. As you know, we have already done statistics just now and we will be starting with quadrilaterals again. All right. So I hope you guys had a quick break and now let's get started. So I'm going to display the QR code again. Tell me where you guys are joining from. Tell me कौन से JNV से आप ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं और कौन से शहर के JNV से कर रहे हैं, कौन से स्टेट के JNV से कर रहे हैं. Do tell me in the chat window right here. I would love to know that. And this is the QR code right here. Please scan it. Please let us know in there as well. That will help us compile the attendance as well. So प्लीज लेट अस नो कि आप कहां से ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं, कितने स्टूडेंट्स हैं आपके, एंड व्हाटएवर योर थॉट्स एंड फीलिंग्स आर अबाउट दीज सेशंस, हाउ यू लाइक देम, what more would you like us to do. We would love to incorporate your suggestions. All right, now let us get started. So we are at Khan Academy website and here we go. When you log in through your teacher's provided account, this is what you see as the first page, right? And यहाँ पर आपको आप देखेंगे कि सारे के सारे content absolutely free of cost है. And if you don't have your teacher's provided account, you can create your account as well very, very quickly. And it just takes 30 seconds. You'll be able to access everything. And when you solve again and again, right, when you come back for another practice session, the website remembers. If you log in, then the website's going to remember what questions you've done already. So it'll give you different questions, new questions for practice. Again, that's the best way of practicing mathematics, especially, right? So let's get started with grade 9 mathematics. And let me show you the last year's paper as well. So last year ke paper mein, as you can see, this is the final paper analysis. That is JNV ka paper hai ye, and section A, B, C, D, E are there, 5 sections. Again, these are the column D represents the number of marks in each section, and column B represents the number of questions in each section. Column C represents the type of questions. Objective questions hai, subjective questions hai, and so on. So now let us look at the questions that have come from different chapters. Again, these are the chapters and these are the number of marks from each chapter that came in last year's question paper. अब आज हम quadrilaterals कर रहे हैं इस सेशन में. So 11 marks of worth of questions came in last year's chapter, last year's exam. So you understand that काफी important chapter है and we should actually have a really good grasp of the key concepts, right? So let us go ahead and do that. What we will be doing in this session is going through all the key concepts from the Khan Academy website, practicing all the key concepts questions, and then we will go ahead and solve a few questions that came last year and then solve a few questions from NCERT, proof type questions, so that you will understand really, really well how to work with it, right? कॉन्सेप्ट्स आपके बहुत अच्छे से सॉलिडिफाई हो जाएंगे. चलिए चलते हैं. लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में यू कैन सी ऑल द डिफरेंट चैप्टर्स राइट हियर एंड लेट्स गो टू over here quadrilaterals. Now we have already done a little bit of practice from quadrilaterals, तो आपको different properties of parallelograms पता है, right? Properties of parallelograms, side and angle properties of parallelograms, and properties of diagonals of parallelograms, right? But then again, let's get started and let's solve a few more questions and then we will go to the next concept, that is the midpoint theorem, converse of midpoint theorem, and how to use it in different types of questions involving, including the proof type of questions. So here we go. We have properties of diagonals of a parallelogram, right? Now, ABCD is given as a parallelogram, right? ABCD is a parallelogram and AO is given as 25 centimeters. The length AO is given as 25 centimeters. So, isko mark kar lete hain, and here is the length that is 25 centimeters. Now, we have to find out OD. OD is this particular length, right? OD is this particular length. So, डू यू सी दैट यहां पर एक पैरेललोग्राम दिया हुआ है एंड यहां पर यू कैन सी दैट AO is a part of the diagonal AC, correct? So, can I see that AO is part of a diagonal, that is AC, BD is another diagonal, and these two diagonals are intersecting at point O, right? And जैसे ही ये दो diagonals O पर intersect कर रही हैं, वैसे ही हम property of parallelogram लगा सकते हैं कि diagonals of a parallelogram intersect each other, correct? Okay. Now, in this one, you can see that the angles between the adjacent sides is 90 degrees as well, right? So, यहाँ पर हम देख सकते हैं कि opposite sides are equal and parallel. That means it is a parallelogram. And this parallelogram right here has adjacent sides perpendicular as well. So, देखते ही समझ में आ रहा है कि ये एक special type of parallelogram है, that is a rectangle. So, this is a rectangle, that means all the angles are 90 degrees. And now I will say that along with the diagonals bisecting each other, the diagonals are going to be equal as well. Okay. So, AO की value 25 centimeters दे रखी है यहाँ पर. That means the entire diagonal OC, AC will be equal to how much? Twice of 25, right? O is the midpoint of the diagonal. One part is 25, the other part is also 25. तो diagonal AC की length हो जाएगी 25 plus 25, that is 50 centimeters. Now, the two diagonals are equal. तो AC की लेंथ अगर 50 सेंटीमीटर्स है तो BD की लेंथ भी 50 सेंटीमीटर्स हो जाएगी. Yes, AC is equal to BD because this is a rectangle, a special type of a parallelogram, right? All four angles are 90 degrees and both the diagonals are equal. They bisect each other as well, right? So, AC बराबर BD आ गया यहाँ पर. और अब यहाँ पर OD की लेंथ पूछी गई है. OD क्या है? ये distance. Let me mark it with another color. This is OD. Do you see that? This is actually half of BD. Correct? क्यों? क्योंकि O जो है मिड पॉइंट है दोनों डायगोनल्स का. AC का भी मिड पॉइंट है, BD का भी मिड पॉइंट है. तो जितना का OD होगा उतना ही BO भी होगा. करेक्ट? सो नाउ आई कैन से दैट अगर BD की लेंथ 50 सेंटीमीटर्स है तो हाफ ऑफ BD कितना हो जाएगा? दैट इज OD, दैट इज इक्वल टू half of 50, that is 25 centimeters as well, right? So we can go ahead and write the value. OD की value हो जाएगी 25 centimeters since AO is given as 25 centimeters here. That means all of these four values actually, AO बराबर BO बराबर CO बराबर DO is equal to 25 centimeters. Okay? So let's go ahead and write. Now I can see Ayush has joined here as well. Hello Ayush, I hope you're understanding everything really well and I hope आपकी final exam की तैयारी बड़ी अच्छे से चल रही है. Now anybody from JNV, please do let us know कि आप कहाँ से join कर रहे हैं in the chat right now so that I also know कि आप कहाँ से join कर रहे हैं. ठीक है? I would love to know that. Now let's go ahead and write 25 centimeters. Go for a check. Awesome. All good, right? Now, if you want to see the step-by-step solution, you can see the step-by-step solution and see. So, here we have diagonals bisect each other and this is a rectangle. Now, let's go ahead and move on. So, here we have another type of questions that is based on side and angle properties of a parallelogram and different special types of parallelograms as well. Okay, so यहां पर आप देख सकते हैं कि ये एक पैरेललोग्राम दिया हुआ है और वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट x एंड y. करेक्ट? सो अब ये जो पैरेललोग्राम दिया हुआ है यहां पर ऑपोजिट साइड्स की लेंथ x और y के टर्म्स में लिखी हुई है. राइट? एज यू कैन सी इन एनी गिवन पैरेललोग्राम, यहां पर देखिए ऑपोजिट साइड्स पैरेलल है. ये एरोज जो है वो पैरेलल लाइंस को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं. तो सिंगल एरो वाले parallel lines हैं and double arrow वाली भी parallel lines है. So these two are parallel as well. And now you can see that both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. That means it is a parallelogram, right? And in a parallelogram, both pairs of opposite sides are equal. So can I say that parallelogram ABCD, in parallelogram ABCD, we have the opposite sides as AB equal to CD, and then we have BC equal to AD, correct? Now, these values are given in terms of x and y. So, AB equal to CD will give me what? X plus 9 equal to 4x. So, I can write x plus 9 is equal to 4x, and from here we can solve for x. So, x की value क्या आ जाएगी यहाँ से? Here I can take x over to the other side and I get 4x minus x, that is 3x, is equal to 9. Dividing by 3 on both sides, I get x is equal to 9 by 3, which is 3 units. Similarly, I can go ahead and solve for BC and AD as well. That means BC की वैल्यू क्या दे रखी है? 2y minus 4 और AD की वैल्यू क्या दे रखी है? y. Up again, opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal and parallel. So what do we get? We get BC is equal to AD. That means 2y minus 4 is equal to AD, that is y. Correct? Again, we can solve for y from here and we get, oh, I can see, oh, Sis Games is here as well. What's your name? Hello. Tell me what your answer comes out. Okay? 2y minus y, y को RHS से LHS में ले आएंगे तो हमारे पास आ जाएगा y, that is equal to 4, and this is the value. X equal to 3, y equal to 4, different values आ चुकी है हमारे पास, and that's what we wanted. Correct? So, as you can see, जैसे ही हमें parallelogram दिखता है, we can say that opposite sides are equal and parallel. Correct? Both the pairs of opposite sides are equal and parallel. Opposite angles are equal. Adjacent angles are supplementary, and so on and so forth. Diagonals bisect each other. Right? ये सारी properties होती हैं parallelogram की. So, let's go ahead and write x equal to 3, y equal to 4. X equal to 3, y equal to 4. Here we go. Go for a check. Awesome. All good. Now, let's go ahead and solve more questions. So, here we go. Let's get to midpoint theorem now. Okay. How to apply midpoint theorem in solving questions and how to apply converse of midpoint theorem in solving questions as well. Okay. Now, in the figure below, triangle ABC is a right angle triangle. P is the midpoint of AB and PQ is parallel to BC. मतलब P जो है AB का midpoint है and PQ is parallel to BC. ये हमने figure में mark कर दिया. Now, what does the midpoint theorem tell us in this situation? So it tells us that the midpoint of one side, line joining, line starting from midpoint of one side and parallel to the other side is going to cut the third side at its midpoint, right? It is going to bisect the third side. That means यहाँ पर AQ will be equal to QC or Q will be midpoint of Q will be the midpoint of AC. Correct? Midpoint of AC. So, here we go. यहाँ से हमें क्या मिल जाता है? Q is midpoint of AC, मतलब AQ is equal to half of AC. Right? So, we can say that AQ is equal to QC is equal to half of AC and PQ is also equal to half of BC. Right? PQ is also equal to half of BC. ये भी मालूम है हमें. So, अब इसमें से चेक कर लेते हैं क्या है. RHS में AC है तो हाफ ऑफ AC क्या निकल के आ रहा है? हाफ ऑफ AC निकल के आ रहा है यहाँ पर हमारा AQ और QC. So, AQ and QC, that means AQ. ये नहीं चलेगा, ये नहीं चलेगा. ऑप्शन C करेक्ट हो जाएगा. ऑप्शन D भी इनकरेक्ट है. Let's go ahead and write it. Option C is the correct answer. Right? Do you understand this well? Okay, let's move on. Let's get to the next question. Here we have, in the figure below, ABC is a right angle triangle with angle ABC equal to 90 degrees. So यहाँ पर angle ABC जो है 90 degrees है. P is the midpoint of AB and PQ is parallel to BC. PQ जो है वो पैरेलल है BC के. ओके, P इज द मिड पॉइंट ऑफ AB, मतलब ये दोनों बराबर हैं, AP बराबर PB. Now, which two triangles should be proved congruent using the given information to show AQ equal to BQ? We have to show AQ equal to BQ. So, which two triangles should we take? We can say that अगर इन दोनों को रिलेट करना है तो we should take these two triangles, right? We should take these two triangles. Do you see that? मतलब क्या हुआ? Triangle APQ and triangle BPQ. इन दो ट्राइंगल्स को अगर हम लेंगे तो हम देख सकते हैं कि यहां पर राइट एंगल ट्राइंगल है, PQ इज पैरेलल टू BC, मतलब ये AB जो है अगर BC के परपेंडिकुलर है तो PQ के भी परपेंडिकुलर होगी. करेक्ट? आई कैन से दैट. हियर वी गो. PQ is parallel to BC. Now, AB is perpendicular to BC. That means AB is going to be perpendicular to PQ as well. AB is going to be perpendicular to PQ as well. That means ये हमारे पास right angle triangle है, angle APQ, and we have another right angle triangle, angle BPQ. Correct? So ये दोनों right angle triangles हैं हमारे पास. These both are right angle triangles, and I can say that angle APQ is equal to angle APQ is equal to angle BPQ, right? दो angles बराबर हैं. What else do we have? We have this as the common side, correct? So I can say that this is a common side and we have side PQ बराबर PQ, correct? And we also have AP is equal to PB. क्यों? ये P जो है मिड पॉइंट है AB का. That means we have AP बराबर PB. So here we go. Looking at these three statements, we can say that we have side, angle, side. So there is SAS congruency here. And we can say that these two triangles are congruent. Correct? SAS congruency से हम prove कर सकते हैं. And which two triangles should we take? We should take these two triangles APQ and BPQ. So हमें क्या प्रूव करना है? We have to prove AQ बराबर BQ, and as soon as we prove these two triangles as congruent, we can use CPCT and say that CPCT will state that corresponding parts of congruent triangles are equal. And corresponding parts क्या क्या हो जाएंगे? यहाँ पर AQ बराबर BQ. Correct? AQ बराबर BQ. ये proof हो गया. Is it okay? So, in order to prove this, we have figured out ki which two triangles should we take? These two triangles, which is triangle APQ, triangle BPQ. So, APQ and BPQ, APQ and BPQ. AB नहीं work करता है, C work करता है यहाँ पर, APQ and BPQ. These triangles we should take. Now, do you understand the fundamental? So, यहाँ पर हम क्या कर रहे हैं? We are using midpoint theorem and we are using our understanding of congruent triangles and CPCT in order to solve this question, right? तो अभी तक ज्योमेट्री में जितने भी previously learned concepts हैं वो भी हमारे solid होने चाहिए, and the entire geometry works that way, right? The entire mathematics works that way. Algebra में अपने जो previously learned concepts है वो solid रहेंगे तो आगे का algebra solid रहेगा. कोऑर्डिनेट ज्योमेट्री में प्रीवियसली लर्न कॉन्सेप्ट सॉलिड रहेंगे तो आगे का कोऑर्डिनेट ज्योमेट्री, 3D ज्योमेट्री, एवरीथिंग विल बी सॉलिड, राइट? ट्रिग्नोमेट्री में भी वही काम करता है. सिमिलरली यहाँ ज्योमेट्री में कि ज्योमेट्री के प्रीवियसली लर्न कॉन्सेप्ट्स अगर हमारे सॉलिड हैं तो आगे की ज्योमेट्री भी स्मूथली फ्री फ्लो करेगी. सो लेट्स गो अहेड एंड राइट द आंसर. ऑप्शन नंबर सी इज द करेक्ट आंसर हियर, राइट? लेट्स गो फॉर अ चेक. ऑसम, ऑल गुड. नाउ अगर आपको स्टेप बाय स्टेप सोल्यूशन देखना है तो हर एक क्वेश्चन का आप स्टेप बाय स्टेप सोल्यूशन भी देख सकते हैं. लेट्स गेट टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन फॉर नाउ. हियर in the figure below, triangle ABC is a right angle triangle with angle ABC equal to 90 degrees. So ABC angle ये 90 degrees है. P is the midpoint of AB and PQ is parallel to BC. So P is the midpoint of AB, मतलब ये दोनों बराबर है, and PQ is parallel to BC, मतलब ये दोनों lines parallel हैं. Okay. जितनी हमारे पास इंफॉर्मेशन थी क्वेश्चन में सारी की सारी मैंने फिगर में डाल दी है, एंड दैट इज अ वेरी वेरी गुड वे ऑफ सॉल्विंग एनी ज्योमेट्री और एनी फिगर रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन, राइट? चाहे ट्रिग्नोमेट्री हो, ज्योमेट्री हो या कोऑर्डिनेट ज्योमेट्री हो, इट्स अ वेरी वेरी गुड आइडिया टू हैव अ फिगर एंड पुट ऑल द डेटा फ्रॉम द क्वेश्चन इन द फिगर. नाउ वी गो अहेड एंड चेक which congruency rule can be used to show that triangle APQ is congruent to triangle BPQ. So अभी अभी हमने थोड़ी देर पहले देखा है, राइट? क्या देखा है हमने? ट्रायंगल APQ और BPQ को कॉन्ग्रुएंट प्रूव किया है. How did we do that? We took the fact that, here we go, we took the fact that since we have P as midpoint of AB and PQ is parallel to BC, so क्या बोल सकते हैं हम? The line starting from midpoint of a side and parallel to another side of a triangle is going to be cutting the third side of the triangle at midpoint, right? तो Q हो जाएगा midpoint यहां पर. पहली बात तो ये, that means AQ बराबर QC. Also यहां पर we have PQ parallel to BC, right? तो अगर ABC एंगल 90 डिग्री है तो APQ एंगल भी 90 डिग्री होगा, right? I can easily see that angle APQ is equal to 90 degrees here and angle BPQ is equal to 90 degrees as well, right? So यहां पर क्या हो गया, हमारे पास दो राइट एंगल ट्राइंगल्स आ गए. ये दो राइट एंगल ट्राइंगल्स को हम देख रहे हैं और हम बोल रहे हैं कि एक वन पेयर ऑफ कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग साइड्स आर इक्वल. AQ AP बराबर PB, ये ऑलरेडी है हमारे पास. एंगल P 90 डिग्रीज है. एंगल APQ इज इक्वल टू एंगल BPQ इज इक्वल टू 90 डिग्रीज. ये दोनों एंगल्स बराबर हैं और PQ जो है वो कॉमन साइड है, मतलब PQ इज इक्वल टू PQ. व्हाट डू वी सी फ्रॉम हियर? वी सी दैट वी हैव, see here, side angle side, right? Side including angle side, मतलब SAS congruency यहां पर यूज हो रही है. So we can go ahead and check the box. Which congruency rule can be used? Side angle side. So option A doesn't work, option B doesn't work, option C, yes, this works. Correct? And angle side angle नहीं, वो भी यूज नहीं हो रही है यहां पर. So let's go ahead and check option C as the correct answer. Now, here we go. All good. I hope this concept is really, really clear to you now, right? Chaliye. Let's go to the next question. Here I have the next question. In the given figure, T is the midpoint of PQ, right? T is the midpoint of PQ and U is the midpoint of SR. ये जो है SR का midpoint है. तो अब यहां पर हम क्या मार्क कर सकते हैं? ये दोनों साइड बराबर हैं एंड ये दोनों साइड बराबर हैं. करेक्ट? नाउ PURT and PQRS are parallelograms. So PURT मतलब this over here is a parallelogram, blue parallelogram, right? ये दिया हुआ है एक parallelogram. And PQRS. So which one is PQRS? We have PQRS as the bigger parallelogram. These two are parallelograms. Now, we have to prove SA equal to AB equal to BQ. To prove SA equal to AB equal to BQ, we can apply the converse of midpoint theorem on which two triangles? So, first things first, SA क्या होगा? ये वाला साइड हो जाएगा. Let me mark it properly with green. Okay. SA ये वाला साइड है, AB ये वाला साइड है और BQ ये वाला साइड है. Do you see that we have to prove that the line SQ is being trisected by PU and TR, right? So हमें ये तीनों साइड्स जो है बराबर प्रूव करने हैं. तो which two triangles should we take for converse of midpoint theorem? अब देखिए, अगर हमें if I concentrate on these two, the first two, right? वी हैव टू प्रूव एस ए बराबर ए बी बराबर बी क्यू, ये तीनों को बराबर प्रूव करना है। तो अगर मैं इन दोनों पे कॉन्सेंट्रेट करूं खाली, ठीक है, लेट मी कॉन्सेंट्रेट ओनली ऑन दीज टू, एस ए बराबर ए बी, तो ये क्या दिख रहा है मुझे, एस ए और ए बी यहां तक दिख रहा है, दैट मीन्स आई एम लुकिंग एट दिस ग्रीन साइड, and can I say that this triangle over here, this triangle over here can be used, right? I can use triangle SBR and say that here I have U is midpoint of SR, right? And this is a parallelogram. PURT is a parallelogram. So U is a midpoint. Let me write it. यहाँ इस triangle में हम कह सकते हैं U is midpoint of SR. And since PURT is a parallelogram, PU or and AU is parallel to BR, right? That means we have a line starting from midpoint of a side parallel to another side. It will cut the third side of the triangle at its midpoint. That means यहां पर अब हम बोल सकते हैं कन्वर्स ऑफ midpoint theorem से, these two points tell me that here this line UA is going to cut SB at its midpoint. That means A is midpoint. Let me write it over here. A is midpoint of SB. Correct? And A is midpoint of SB, मतलब SA बराबर AB, ये हमारा प्रूव हो गया। करेक्ट? तो हमने कौन से ट्राइंगल की बात करी यहां पर? वी टॉक्ड अबाउट ट्राइंगल SBR. नाउ लेट अस टेक अ लुक एट द अदर पोर्शन ऑफ इट। अभी तक हमने सिर्फ इन दोनों को साथ में लिया, SA इक्वल टू AB प्रूव किया है। नाउ इफ आई टेक द अदर टू पार्ट्स ऑफ इट, राइट, इफ आई टेक दीज टू टुगेदर, AB equal to BQ अगर मुझे प्रूव करना है, तो what will I do? I will go ahead and first of all remove all the green lines, and then I will say that here I want to prove AB equal to BQ. So AB ये वाली लाइन है और BQ ये वाली लाइन है, so total purple portion कौन सा हो रहा है? ये वाला हो रहा है। That means which triangle should I look at? Now I should look at this triangle, this purple triangle. Make sense? So now I can say that in triangle PAQ, in triangle PAQ, I already have T as the midpoint, right? T already midpoint है किसका? PQ का. T is midpoint of PQ. And it is already there that TB is parallel to PA. क्यों? ये बड़ा वाला जो है parallelogram है. Which is parallelogram? PURT is a parallelogram. So I will say that TB is parallel to PA. Right? Portions of the opposite sides of parallelogram are going to be parallel as well. Right? अगर opposite sides of a parallelogram are parallel, तो उन opposite sides के portions भी parallel हो जाएंगे. So यहाँ पर हम कह सकते हैं T is midpoint of PQ, TB is parallel to PA. अब इन दोनों से क्या बोला जा सकता है कि we have a line TB that is starting from midpoint of one side parallel to another side, right? This is parallel to another side. It will cut the third side at its midpoint. मतलब B is midpoint of, this gives me B is midpoint of AQ. And there we have it. B जो है वो AQ का midpoint होगा, तो हम क्या बोल देंगे? AB बराबर BQ. AB बराबर BQ. And that's what we wanted to prove. Right? यही हमें प्रूव करना था, AB बराबर BQ. ये देखिए हमने प्रूव कर दिया है. Here we go. AB बराबर BQ. So which two triangles are we taking here? पहली पार्ट को प्रूव करने के लिए, पहले पार्ट को प्रूव करने के लिए हमने ट्राइंगल SBR लिया, दूसरे पार्ट को प्रूव करने के लिए हमने ट्राइंगल PAQ लिया. So triangle SBR and triangle PAQ, these two triangles we have to take. So फर्स्ट ऑप्शन को देखते हैं, BQTSAU, नो. SPQQRS, no, this also doesn't work. PQASBR, yes, this works. Option C is the correct answer. SPAQBR, no, this also doesn't work, right? So I hope this is very very clear to you कि आपको क्या करना है, you have to look for the triangle of which the midpoint would represent, or the point would represent the midpoint of one of the sides, और दूसरे साइड का midpoint से already वो line start हो रही है parallel to the second side. This will be cutting the third side of the triangle at its midpoint. चलिए, I hope this is very very clear. And again, this is a question that is already there in your NCERT textbook. प्रूफ वाला क्वेश्चन है, यहां पर हमने effectively पूरा प्रूफ देख लिया है, and we are looking at which triangles we should use to prove. So let's go on and write the answer. Answer यहाँ पर हो जाएगा option number C, and let's go for a check. All right, awesome, all good. Let's go ahead and solve some more questions. Okay, now here I will go here and go for some more questions for midpoint theorem. So here we go. Let's go. Okay, let's go ahead and solve some more quiz level questions. Okay, so let's solve some questions from unit test. Again, when you have solved all the questions in a chapter, right? When you have done all the practice in a chapter that you want to do, you can go ahead and take a unit test, and you will see that you will find different questions in unit test as well. When you do the unit test, you should look at the time duration properly as well. ठीक है? Time bound situation में आपको unit test attempt करना चाहिए यहाँ से. And again, all of these, right, tests and quizzes and practice sessions and concept videos and everything is absolutely free of cost. So make sure you avail everything, right? Why not? Here we go. Which of these statements best describes the property of the line connecting midpoint of two sides of the triangle? Line connecting midpoint of the two sides of the triangle is parallel to the third side. Yes, it is parallel to the third side. So go for a check. Awesome, that's good. Now let's go ahead and solve this question. We have to find out the value of x, y and z. So x कौन सा है, ये वाला एंगल है, y कौन सा है, ये वाला एंगल है, z कौन सा है, ये वाला एंगल है. As you can see, these three are internal angles of interior angles of a triangle, and 40 degrees ये वाला एंगल दे रखा है, 121 degrees ये वाला एंगल दे रखा है. This is a parallelogram. ABCD is a parallelogram. Okay. Now you see that 121 degrees is exterior angle at B. तो इंटीरियर एंगल क्या होगा, इसका कॉम्प्लीमेंट, इसका सप्लीमेंट्री एंगल हो जाएगा, राइट? सो आई कैन से दैट एंगल बी बराबर कितना हो जाएगा, 180 माइनस 121, दैट इज 59 डिग्रीज. ठीक है, तो ये एंगल हमारे पास 59 डिग्रीज आ गया. नाउ ऑपोजिट एंगल्स ऑफ अ पैरेललोग्राम आर इक्वल, तो x बराबर भी 59 डिग्रीज आ जाएगा, x बराबर 59 डिग्रीज. एंड डू यू सी दैट यहां पर पैरेललोग्राम में ऑपोजिट साइड्स पैरेलल होते हैं. तो अब मुझे अगर एंगल y और एंगल z निकालना है तो क्या कर सकते हैं, लुक एट दीज टू पैरेलल लाइंस. ऑपोजिट साइड्स ऑफ अ पैरेललोग्राम आर पैरेलल, और अब मुझे ट्रांसवर्सल्स दिख रही हैं. सी, लुक एट दिस ट्रांसवर्सल, दिस इज वन ट्रांसवर्सल. सो ऑल्टरनेट इंटीरियर एंगल्स आर गोइंग टू बी इक्वल. ये एंगल 40 डिग्रीज दे रखा है, तो इसका ऑल्टरनेट इंटीरियर एंगल y भी 40 डिग्रीज हो जाएगा. y बराबर 40 डिग्रीज आ गया. नाउ y बराबर 40 डिग्रीज आ गया, तो अब हमें x निकाल लिया, y निकाल लिया, अब खाली z निकालना है, राइट? एंड z निकालने के लिए I can look at which parallel line? I can say that यहीं पर हमारे पास z है, and z is interior angle of a triangle, right? कौन सा triangle? ACD. So triangle ACD is here, in which I can say that interior angles of a triangle sum up to 180 degrees. So एक्स वाई जेड तीनों का सम 180 डिग्रीज होना पड़ेगा। एक्स की वैल्यू 59 डिग्रीज है, एक्स प्लस वाई प्लस जेड बराबर 180 डिग्रीज। अब एक्स की वैल्यू 59 है, 59 डिग्रीज प्लस वाई की वैल्यू 40 डिग्रीज है प्लस जेड की वैल्यू हमें निकालनी है इज इक्वल टू 180 डिग्रीज। यहां से जेड की वैल्यू निकल जाएगी, राइट। सो व्हाट डू यू सी, पैरेललोग्राम की सारी प्रॉपर्टीज का यूज यहां पे किया जा सकता है। क्या? ऑपोजिट साइड्स आर पैरेलल, उसको हमने यूज कर लिया, फिर हमने पैरेलल लाइंस एंड ट्रांसवर्सल्स को यूज कर लिया, एंड देन वी यूज द property that opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal, adjacent angles are supplementary, right? adjacent angle supplementary भी यूज कर सकते थे हम z निकालने के लिए, बाय द वे। कैसे? यहां से पहले z देख लेते हैं, z कितना आ जाएगा, 180 minus 40 gives me 140, 140 minus 59 will give me 140 minus 60 gives me 80, तो 140 minus 59 will give me 81 degrees। ओके, ये तो आ गया z की वैल्यू। अब आप देख सकते हैं कि यहां से हमने adjacent angles of a parallelogram को यूज करके भी हम z की वैल्यू निकाल सकते थे। कैसे? I spotted the triangle, so I went there first, and you can spot this first and you can go there first, right? कैसे? 59 degrees angle B है, and this entire angle would be adjacent to angle B. So यहाँ पे हम क्या बोल सकते हैं, angle B plus angle A should be 180 degrees. So 59 degrees plus 40 degrees plus Z is equal to 180 degrees. See, we ended up at the entire exact situation that we got earlier. यहां से भी Z की वैल्यू क्या आ जाएगी, 140 minus 59, right? That gives me Z is equal to 81 degrees again. Okay, I hope this is very very clear to you. Now ये तो हमने इस तरीके से सॉल्व कर लिया। चलिए आंसर्स भी लिख लेते हैं। x की वैल्यू कितनी थी, x 59 है, y 40 है, z 81 है। ठीक है, लेट्स गो। x 59 है, एक मिनट, हाँ 59 है, 40 एंड 81। सो 59, 40 and 81, and we go ahead, mark the answer, and we're all good to go. Now this was again another question where we were using the angle properties of a parallelogram, right? Now let's go and take a look at the questions that have come in the previous years in your JNV ka school exams. Okay, so acha, I can see EMC square is also here, Shai Meshram is also here. Oh, do you have any doubt? Let me know if there is any confusion. Okay, I hope everything is clear. Chaliye, let's go to this here. Now, I have these questions from quadrilateral. मैंने filter out कर लिए हैं questions from quadrilateral chapter, and as you can see, this is one question here. Show that the diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular to each other. So, इसे भी हम show कर सकते हैं. How? By taking triangles and proving them to be congruent, right? चलिए, let's go ahead and solve this question. Show that the diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular to each other. So I'm going to go over here, go to the next question, and use this space to find out and show the diagonals. ठीक है, यहां पर तो x की वैल्यू बड़ी आसानी से कैलकुलेट हो जाएगी, which is what? Complementary or supplementary of 104. These two are adjacent angles. ये दोनों का sum 180 डिग्रीज होने वाला है, तो x कितना हो जाएगा, 180 minus 104, that is equal to, अब 80 minus 4, that is 76 degrees. ठीक है, अब I am going to use this space to find out. Here we go. Yeah, I'm going to use this space to prove the earlier read question. Show that the diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular to each other. So let's go ahead, draw a rhombus. यहां पर मैंने एक rhombus draw कर लिया. A rhombus is a special type of a parallelogram that has all four sides equal, right? तो अगर मैं बोलती हूँ ये ABCD rhombus है, तो इसके चारों sides A के बराबर हो जाएंगे, right? All four sides are equal. And the diagonals of a rhombus are actually perpendicular to each other and they bisect each other. They are perpendicular bisectors of each other, राइट. सो अगर मैं डायगोनल्स ड्रॉ करती हूँ, यहाँ पर मैंने एक डायगोनल ड्रॉ की, यहाँ पर मैंने दूसरी डायगोनल ड्रॉ की. नाउ what I have to prove is this angle is 90 degrees. Correct? Diagonals are perpendicular to each other. Diagonals are already bisecting each other. Right? So, यहाँ पर अगर मैं इन दोनों triangles को ले लेती हूँ, if I take this triangle and this triangle, then can I see that in triangles, in triangle A, let's say this is O, OD and triangle AOB, right? We have diagonals already bisecting each other. मतलब क्या हुआ? OD बराबर OB, right? And AO is common anyways. And all four sides of a rhombus are equal, right? ये होता है property rhombus का special type of parallelogram where all four sides are equal. So, क्या बोल सकते हैं हम यहाँ पर? Here OD is equal to OB and AO is common side. AO is equal to AO and AD is equal to AB. Correct? Do you see that corresponding sides are coming out equal? मतलब यहाँ पर हम कह सकते हैं this is side, side, side. SSS congruency is working. Correct? So I can say that by SSS congruency, I can prove these two triangles to be congruent. जैसे ही हमने ये दोनों triangles को congruent prove कर लिया, then we can use CPCT and we can say that by CPCT, here I have triangle AOD और AOB, right? तो CPCT क्या बोलता है? Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are always equal. अब यहां पर हमें क्या प्रूव करना है? एंगल 90 डिग्री प्रूव करना है. मतलब आई हैव टू लुक एट एंगल्स एज करस्पॉन्डिंग पार्ट्स. सो विच एंगल्स विल आई लुक एट? I will look at these two angles. Here, this is the first angle that I will look at. This is the second angle I will look at. And I will say that here, triangle AOD and AOB are congruent. That means A is corresponding to A, O is corresponding to O, and D is corresponding to B. ये corresponding vertices है, right? And corresponding vertices क्या हो जाएंगे? A is corresponding to A, O is corresponding to O, and D is corresponding to B. ये corresponding vertices है. corresponding vertices से हम जाकर के corresponding angles को बड़ी आसानी से देख सकते हैं. तो क्योंकि O और O corresponding vertices हैं, I can say that angle AOD must be equal to angle AOB, right? These two are corresponding angles now. And if these two angles are equal, and we can see that these two angles are supplementary also. क्यों linear pair बना रहे हैं ये दोनों angles? तो दोनों angles बराबर हैं, दोनों angles supplementary भी हैं, तो क्या हो जाएगा? Each angle has to be equal to 90 degrees, right? तभी 90 plus 90 180 degrees मिलेगा मुझे. So I can say that if each angle is equal to x, then since these two angles are forming a linear pair, I can say that 2x बराबर 180 degrees. That means x is equal to 90 degrees. That means both of these angles are 90 degrees. And because of that, I will say that here this is here. These are the two diagonals and this is O, and we understand that this angle and this angle are both 90 degrees. That means the two diagonals are perpendicular to each other, right? So what have we done? We have proved it, right? And how did we prove it? By using the special property of a rhombus. That is, rhombus is a special kind of a parallelogram where all four sides are equal. And in any parallelogram, the diagonals bisect each other and opposite sides are equal and parallel. So, यहाँ पर we have proved for a rhombus, the two diagonals are perpendicular bisectors of each other. Understood? Okay. Let's move on. Let's take a look at the next question. The next question that we have is this one. ABCD is a quadrilateral in which PQRS are midpoints of the sides AB, BC, CD, and DA. AC is a diagonal, show that SR is parallel to AC, SR is equal to half AC, PQ is equal to SR, PQRS is a parallelogram. So this also can be used very easily, can be proved very easily using midpoint theorem. क्यों? midpoint theorem को यूज करके हमने काफी सारे प्रूव कर लिए हैं. अब ये भी वैसा ही एक क्वेश्चन है. Let's go ahead and look at this question. So I'm going to go here, put this, and I'm going to go here and remove what I've done so that I can take the other question. Okay. So till now, I hope everything is very clear and you have no confusion whatsoever. So now I'm going to remove everything that I have written here. Okay. Here we go. All right. Now we can go ahead and look at that question. So what is the question? ABCD is a quadrilateral in which PQRS are midpoints of sides AB, BC, CD, and DA. So let's go ahead and make a quadrilateral and the midpoints of the sides of the quadrilateral. So here I go. This is a random quadrilateral that I am making. Here. This is a random quadrilateral. Okay. A, B, C, D. And PQRS are midpoints of the sides AB, BC, CD, and DA. So AC is a diagonal. AC मैंने एक diagonal बना ली. And then I am writing the midpoints of four sides. P, Q, R, and S. These are the midpoints. Now I have to join the midpoints. So चलिए join कर लेते हैं. We have P with Q, Q to R, R to S, and S to P. And now what do we have to prove here? यहाँ पर हमें तीन चीजें प्रूव करनी है. First is SR parallel to AC and SR equal to 12 AC. चलिए इसे कॉपी कर लेते हैं और वहीं पे डाल देते हैं. So here we go. I'm going to copy it right here. And paste. So here we have this text. These are the three things we have to prove. Okay. I am going to remove the marks from here. One mark के questions हैं ये. Basically, we have to prove that SR is parallel to AC. SR is parallel to AC and SR is equal to half of AC. Okay. So, SR कौन सी है? SR is this line over here. This line over here. Right? SR is parallel to AC is what we have to prove. So, first things first. यहां पर हम कौन सा ट्रायंगल कंसिडर कर सकते हैं? मुझे SR जो कि S और R को ज्वाइन कर रही है, जो कि मिड पॉइंट्स हैं AD और CD के, right? So now I can go ahead and consider this triangle, this red triangle. Do you see this? I am going to go ahead and consider this triangle. Say that in triangle ADC, what is happening? SR is line joining midpoints of two sides of the triangle. S and R are midpoints of AD and DC. And if this is a line joining midpoints of two sides of a triangle, then this line is going to be parallel to the third side and half of the third side, right? So I will say that SR is going to be parallel to the third side of the triangle, that is AC, and the length of SR is going to be half of length of AC. Correct? And see, this is what we had to prove over here. यहाँ पर यही हमें prove करना था. So the first part we have proved. Now the second part we have to prove is PQ is equal to SR. So let us take a look at this part now. PQ कौन सा है? PQ is this, right? And we have to prove this is equal to SR. So SR already half of AC हमने prove कर दिया है. We are going to keep it like this. And SR is parallel to AC, ये हमें मालूम है, right? अब जिस तरीके से हमने SR के लिए प्रूव किया, SR और AC को टुगेदर लेके, कौन सा? ये वाला ट्राइंगल को लेके, अब हम PQ के लिए प्रूव करेंगे तो हम कौन सा ट्राइंगल लेंगे? We are going to take the other triangle, right? we are going to take this triangle right here. And we can say that let us concentrate on the green triangle. Okay, this green triangle. Do you see this? इस ग्रीन ट्रायंगल में क्या हो रहा है? P is midpoint of AB, Q is midpoint of BC, and these PQ is line joining midpoints of two sides of a triangle that's going to be parallel to the third side, and it is going to be equal to half of length of the third side. So here we go. In triangle ABC, right? P and Q are midpoints. P and Q are midpoints of AB and BC. करेक्ट. सो अब क्या बोल सकते हैं? जिस तरीके से हमने किया है, वी वांट टू प्रूव PQ इक्वल टू SR. PQ ऑलरेडी, SR ऑलरेडी हाफ ऑफ AC है. अगर मैंने PQ को भी हाफ ऑफ AC प्रूव कर दिया तो काम हो जाएगा, है ना? वही कर रहे हैं हम यहां पर. सो लेट्स गो अहेड एंड राइट P and Q are midpoints, and line joining midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side. So I can easily write PQ must be parallel to AC, and PQ must be half of AC. Correct? PQ must be half of AC and PQ must be parallel to AC. So, अब यहां पर देखिए, do you see these two? Let me write it again properly. Okay. Now, PQ parallel to AC and PQ is equal to half of AC. Now, do you see these two? You see that both of them are half of AC. So, PQ is equal to SR. PQ is equal to SR. PQ is equal to SR. Right? That's about it. अब और क्या प्रूफ करना है हमें? PQRS is a parallelogram, ये भी प्रूव करना है. तो अब can I say that here PQ equal to SR तो आ गया. अब look at these two, SR parallel to AC, PQ parallel to AC. तो क्या हो जाएगा? PQ parallel to SR भी हो जाएगा. Yes, if two lines are parallel to the same line, then both of them are going to be parallel as well. So यहाँ पे क्या हो जाएगा? PQ and SR are parallel as well. PQ is parallel to SR also. And now I can say that in PQRS, in quadrilateral PQRS, I have PQ and SR as one pair of opposite sides that are equal and parallel. If in a quadrilateral, one pair of opposite sides is proved to be equal and parallel both, then that is sufficient condition for the quadrilateral to be a parallelogram. मतलब क्या हुआ? अगर किसी भी quadrilateral में हमने प्रूव कर दिया कि एक पेयर ऑफ ऑपोजिट साइड्स, वन पेयर ऑफ ऑपोजिट साइड्स इक्वल भी हैं, पैरेलल भी हैं, तो वो कंडीशन जो है वो सफिशिएंट होता है ये प्रूव करने के लिए कि वो पूरा क्वाड्रिलैटरल जो है पैरेललोग्राम हो जाएगा. ठीक है? सो यहां पर हम ये लगा सकते हैं, वी कैन से दैट वी हैव प्रूव्ड दैट PQ is equal to SR and PQ is parallel to SR. That means PQRS is going to be a parallelogram. And that's about it. We have proved the entire thing. Right? तो किस तरीके से हमने किया? We have ended up using the midpoint theorem and worked with it. Right? चलिए. I hope this was very very clear, and I hope now you understand कि इस chapter में से किस type के questions आते हैं. We have already done most of these type of questions already in the worksheet in the Khan Academy website. So when you go home or whenever you are done, you can go ahead and log into the website and solve as many questions as you can. You will see that your preparation for the final exam will become really really well. Okay? And make sure you solve questions, all the questions of NCERT really well. Okay? चाहे example problems की बात हो रही हो, चाहे exercise वाले problems की बात हो रही हो. That will help you really well in solidifying the concepts. Let's move on now. Now, that is about it for today's session. Now, हमने बहुत अच्छे से आज प्रीवियस सेशन में स्टैटिस्टिक्स कवर कर लिया, इस सेशन में क्वाड्रिलैटरल्स कवर कर लिया, एंड टुमारो वी आर गोइंग टू मीट अगेन टू कवर फर्दर चैप्टर्स एज वेल. सो until next time, here is the QR code. Make sure you take the QR code, download the link with it, and do let us know, especially JNV kids, Do let us know where you are joining from, कहाँ से join कर रहे हैं, आपकी class में कितने students join कर रहे हैं, and do let us know how you find these sessions. What more would you like us to do? What more would you want from us? We are happy and very, very appreciative of all your thoughts and suggestions that you give. We will try our level best to incorporate everything. All right. And be curious, be hungry for knowledge, keep practicing. Until next time, happy learning. Bye bye.